Good evening and welcome. I'm Rabbi Joy Levitt. I'm the Executive Director. Is this on? No, I don't think so. Better? Yes. I'm still Rabbi Joy Levitt, and I'm still welcoming you this evening to our final performance, our final films of this amazing week with record-breaking, sold-out shows. We hope that you all got to enjoy the diversity of the selections, from comedies about soccer players to based on true story period pieces. The flourishing Israeli film industry provides a multitude of access points, giving room for not one but two major Israeli film festivals here at the JCC. You don't have to wait until next June for the next one. You can join us this November for the other Israel Film Festival, and of course many other Israeli films here throughout the year. This is my opportunity to once again thank the amazing Carole Zabar, founder of the Other Israel Film Festival, for her generous support of all our Israeli film programs here at the JCC. The Israel Film Center is also taking on a new project to bring these fabulous and diverse Israeli films to campuses and exposing new audiences to Israeli films, Israeli life through film. You too can enjoy films from the comfort of your own home through our streaming site, www.israelfilmcenterstream.org. And you can check there out newly added films from Kishon Classics to new films by Avi Nesher. We try to make this look effortless, but in fact a huge amount of work goes into producing these festivals, and I really want to give a heartfelt thanks to Yotam Tubal. Are you here, Yotam? And of course to Rabbi Torjaman, who has been with us at every festival, at every moment, with every detail, and the amazing Zablocki, with my privilege to introduce now.
Thank you, Joy. And my first thank you, of course, goes to my bosses, Joy Levitt and David Shira. I want to give a big thank you to all the filmmakers that were here this week, including those who have come to see films, come to engage with films, have traveled to our other locations to engage with different audiences, and it's been a fabulous week of conversations. I want to thank the volunteers and the interns who have made this week so much easier for us, and really this festival could not run without them. Some of our sponsors, who include the Israeli Consulate, El Al, and the Nachmias at Fields Distillery, and all the other amazing partners that have made this festival possible. You saw them in the trailer, you can see them online. Check out our partners and support them. A big thank you to the staff here at the JCC across the board, from the marketing department, the art design, to do all the work for the festival, and especially our AV folks who actually run the films and are behind the scenes the whole time. Our media partners, Yediot America and the Jewish Week, and of course to you guys, the audience. How many of you have come to more films than just tonight? Excellent. Thank you for coming and coming back and not being scared away. Really our audiences have been engaging, enjoying, and letting us know exactly the temperature of the room at all times. So I know it's always hot and it's always cold, so it seems to be perfect. Last but not least, I also want to thank our team here, Yotam Tugel, who is probably running around at the moment, has been running around all week. This is his first festival with us, and he did an outstanding job. If you see him, tell him that. Find him and tell him. And of course, my partner in crime, Rabbi Torjaman, who's a consultant to all things film here at the JCC, and really carries most of its weight. Tonight's film, we're up to that. Self-Made, which premiered at the Cannes Film Festival as part of Critics Week, and as it's called in Hebrew, Boleg, by Shira Geffen. Shira Geffen is, of course, a playwright, director, children's author, and I found this film to be one of the most, from all the diverse films that we had in the festival this year, it was one of the most cinematic films, and truly there's a cinematic voice there, and you feel a real director behind the scenes here. Her first film, which we've screened here as well, and won many, many awards, Jellyfish Meduzot. She co-directed with her husband, Edgar Carrot, who's here with us tonight, and got a lot of acclaim and a beautiful release here in the States. And some compare this film, I like to compare it in some ways to the work, if you're familiar with Kieślowski, the Polish director. But when I told this to Annette Insdorf, who wrote the book about Kieślowski, she said, no, David Lynch. And not as dark, not as scary, don't worry, not as slow. And we're excited to have Shira Geffen with us here tonight. Thank you, Shira, so much for being here. The film will be followed by a conversation between Shira and Mili Avital, the award-winning actress. You can see her on our streaming site, Israel Film Center, stream.org, in a film like Noodle. You've also might have seen her in Prisoners of War, Chatufim, the Israeli version of Homeland. Thank you. And even in Stargate, the Hollywood films. They'll be here for a Q&A. After the Q&A, if you behave, there will be a reception upstairs following the film, only to those who stay through the entire Q&A, which will be short. At 9 p.m., we're screening in this room the film Zero Motivation, Efes B'Yachasei Enosh. This was one of the biggest hit films in Israel this past year, won awards at the Tribeca Film Festival, and did not have a good enough release here in America, and we did an audience award for the film that they wanted to see most, and Zero Motivation was that film. Clearly not enough people saw it. There's about 10 tickets left if any of you want to try to jump back in for a double header tonight. We would love to have you, and it's a great way to enjoy some more Israeli films. Please continue seeing Israeli films throughout the year, not just during festivals. I know it takes away, so that's when you get all the hoo-ha, but it's really Israeli films coming out every month, and if you continue to support these films, they'll bring more in. Silence your cell phones. Keep them in your pocket so the light does not disturb anyone for the next hour and a half or so. Then, of course, turn them back on and tell all your friends about the festival. And we look forward to seeing you right after the screening. Thank you very much.
I don't know what to begin with. It starts from one of the ideas starts from an article which I read like 10 years ago with a Palestinian woman from Bethlehem. That they require her to do a suicide bombing, and because the army killed her fiancé, so she felt very angry and she decided to do it, and they sent her to a shopping mall with this bomb around her hips and with a child, 16 years old child. And she said in the article when she came to this shopping mall and she saw all the children eating ice cream and the woman shopping, the thing that she wanted to do is not to bomb herself, she to go to the shops and do shopping. And I thought to myself, what's happened if she did it? If she would have done it. Yeah, and done it, and people may maybe think that she's pregnant because of this belt, and she will buy things from her to her child. But in the reality, she decided not to do it because she decided to live, and it was very interesting to me to think in what point you want to live and where you want to die. And I think from this is one of the seeds of the script.
And just as you write the story, do you think in images first? Because you're so visual. I mean, most also your previous film, Meduzot, was very
visual, but this is even more so. I mean, it's almost like you think in images first and then...
I think the people that helped me was the two great people, the cinematographer Ziv Berkovich and the art director Arad Shawat, the two people that I worked with them a month before I shoot the film, and they built all the visual world with me, so I think I owe them this, they did it.
That's interesting. And how did you used Sarah Adler, the lead actress, who's also the lead actress in Medusa, and she's so different in this film. And did you know when you were writing what you were going for in terms of casting, or were you? Did it take you a while?
I didn't know, but with Sarah Adler, it was great pleasure to work with in Jellyfish, and here too, and she's a great partner. And Samira Saraya, the Nadine role as well. So I didn't know what I want, but because the two women are me in a way, and Sarah and Samira, they do have, I think, something like me, I think. So that I recognized. So and they familiar in a strange way too. So I took them to do it. I feel like like the film are much more stronger than all that what I talk. I'm sorry.
No, there's no question that I mean it's a film that makes you. As I was watching it, I thought it just makes you ask so many questions.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems that you're asking many questions as you're putting your vision out about identity, about the place we're in, about humanity. I mean, many questions.
This was a problem to raise money for this film, because when you come to the foundation and we want to raise money, they ask about the film, what you mean and what, and I didn't know, because I don't know when I write, I don't know what I'm writing, and I don't want to know. I want to discover it, in the process, and so it was very difficult to raise money for like 5 years. It took to raise money.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, please.
Yeah,
We will open it to a couple of your questions too, but Neely, please ask one more, and then we'll open it up. Otherwise, I want to ask.
We'll see how fast people raise their hands.
Right, give them a moment. It's a slow process.
Yeah, I mean, did the result of the film, when you watch it, does it surprise you? People say there's the film you write, the film you edit, and then the film that is on the screen. Did it surprise you?
I'm like Michal Kayam, I have no memory, so I go to all the screening because I don't remember. I remember, but I think it's different when with a different audience. It's very interesting because I came from a theater. I wrote for theater, I direct, and theater is the connection between the actresses and the audience is very alive. And in film, I thought, no, it's in the moment you shoot it, that's it. But it's not like that, because it's very different. Here, you're a great audience, really. You react for all the way. So so it's very. I don't remember I'm like Michal Kayam. It surprised me. All the time the film. Through the audience.
I think it probably has a different meaning watching it here too than in Israel. I would think. Do you feel it was received differently? Was it more criticized in Israel? Was it warmly accepted?
Half in Israel. Half of the people shout at me and half of the people hug me. So it's Israel.
I was going to ask if you've heard from IKEA, and can you help me put my bed together?
No.
Would IKEA have come on board, or did you not even try that path?
Excuse me?
Would IKEA become did you ask to see if IKEA can be, not that there's any comparison between the companies?
No, it's IKEA. I love to do the stuff to do it, but I never success to do it. And it's one thing that, because of that I wrote it, because it's something very, make you very nervous, because you think if all the people success to do it, they can do it and you're not, so what's the tell of, there's something wrong with you, so...
That is really the meaning of the film.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Sort of, yeah.
I'd love to hear a little bit, folks, you don't have any questions? Good, I'll ask. A little bit about the international reactions to the film also. How was this received internationally? I know it opened in France too.
Yeah, in Cannes Festival we have laugh a lot. And it's very interesting about, I think it was in Milano, a screening in the film festival in Milano, and there were two guys, a couple, 70 years old, and there was with the flag of Palestine, and the two of them. And after the screening, the woman shouted me that it's too how do you call it, Yemeni?
Right wing.
Right wing. And the husband come and want to take a photo with me. So it's nice. And in Israel, a lot of people think it's very left wing. So it's very, very mixed.
I thought it was, if I can just ask you another thing, I thought it was interesting how the colors were similar in the Israeli woman and also for the Palestinian woman. I mean, they had a similar sort of, they had very different worlds, but they were very, very similar.
Because of these two women, it's like they're like one woman. So I wanted the world will be the same world, and to do it a little bit like a fairy tale and put it far from the reality. So all these bluish colors and all so because of that, to unite the world.
How much politic is the split personality aspect that you brought into this? And where was the mind of Michal Kayam where had the mind gone?
I don't know.
But the film indicates, at least I read in the film that she made a conscious decision to have a hysterectomy, and then was going to take the witness of her womb as a feminist statement of some sort. I mean, we could talk about that one too. But where is the politic in this, where you've got the Arab woman looking to live, the Israeli woman at a point where she is so beyond herself that she's ready to blow herself and anybody else up?
Mm-hmm.
And when you come to that, how close does this get to a political question of where the public opinion goes in judging lifestyles in Jerusalem at a border gate?
I cannot answer. I think you will decide how political is it, where is the political and where is. I cannot. I'm asking questions like me. So I'm not. I have not. I have some answers, but I don't want to say it.
We're going to take one last, actually two last questions here. They're not shy anymore.
So I struggled with your movie, but I made it to the end and loved the ending. I think that tied the whole movie together because, if I had read too much about it, I probably wouldn't have come because I don't like violent movies, and I'm always worried that stories like this about Israeli and Palestinian themes are going to be biased on some level, and I have to give you tremendous kudos, kavod, because by ending the movie without a violent action, it just, to me, strengthened everything. I didn't answer the question. I'm wondering whether you knew that it was going to end like that.
I didn't. There's a few ending for the film, but the end. I just in the edit room. I thought it's the right thing to end the film like that. yes, but I didn't know until this point what will be. There's no nude too in the film.
No nudity. No violence, no nudity. Made by a woman.
I just wanted to know if you're trying to tell us that the only response is possible, the possible response on either side is really either forgetting or going mad or encapsulating yourself in yourself and just wanting a child. האם השכחה או ההתעלמות היא התגובה למצב פוליטי שאתה לא מדבר עליו, אבל על מציאות שהיא בלתי ניתנת באיזשהו מובן להתייחס אליה.
I write about myself and from what I know about myself, like and I feel like I live in Tel Aviv and I can't live like in the coffee house and go to the beach and then pretend that everything is okay, because everything is okay around me, but it's not. And in the moment there was I stand on the checkpoint with this group of women, Mahsom Watch, for like a few months. And after I did it and I saw what I saw, what's happened there, I said to myself that if I decided to live here, so I live in Israel, I must say something and I must open my eyes. I think these few months that I did it opened my eyes, and you're right. All this Michal Kayam character is about this bubble that we live in and stuck in it.
Folks, I want to thank you both so much for being here. Shira, thank you so much for being here.
I want to thank you for inviting me to the festival. Thank you for that.
You'll want to listen to my instructions for the plan. There's about 100 people waiting outside to get in for the next film. You're going to want to exit on top and make a left, straight up into the reception if you go up the stairs on the left. So please join us for reception. Shira will be there to answer more questions. And thank you very much for joining us. We look forward to seeing you again soon.